Step right up, dummies, and listen to the stupidest sports show on earth with Rodney Newpol and Tim Van Stratton. Yeah. Well, hello, dummies, and welcome to episode number 83 of the stupidest sports show on earth. My name, as you all know, is Tim the Manimal Van Stratton. Alongside me is Rodney Newpol. Rodney, happy Friday. How are you?
Morning, Manimal. How are you? I'm doing well. And happy Friday to all the, as you would call them, dorks out there. Happy Friday, dorks. And here we are, final Friday of the month of July already. That's it. This is the last Friday in July. So July is arguably the worst sports month of the year, right? I don't even know if you can argue.
Well, this would be. I would have to really think through. In theory, yes, but then again, July also has the Open Championship. Yeah. It's also had Wimbledon. So it's like you have to expand sort of beyond like the NBA, like the big four sports, right?
Yeah.
And also, you know, there's certain years where July has the Summer Olympics and then has the World Cup. So
yeah, but it's obviously near the top. I'm just trying to think, like, off the top of my head, what month sticks out as a worse month, and I don't know as if like I'm instantly thinking July. But you're right. There was plenty of good stuff that went on. Open Championship win, Wimbledon. So, but anyways, my point is we're moving into August. We will get college football at the end of the month. We will get all the training camp NFL, which kind of sucks. 3-4 weeks of it, but here we are. We're
training camp. Did you wait? Did you just say training camp sucks?
Kind of.
Because Rodney.
Yeah.
Rodney, I will tell you this, man. I was just thinking about this yesterday. Like, okay, I'll talk from the perspective of being a Giants fan here. As you know, my team hasn't done terribly well the last couple years, right? And the bar is pretty low for them. But it took one practice. It took one clip of me seeing Russell Wilson throw a somewhat competent ball in the red zone to Malik Neighbors to bring me all the way back in. I am so in. I'm so in on training camp. I'm obsessed with it. So it didn't take long. Took one clip, and I was like, all right, screw it. I'm in. This is great.
We will will go around training camps here in a little bit on the show. We do have an NFL segment I want to talk about. But first of all, I need to give you, well, first of all, we'll start here. The first trade of the Major League Baseball deadline. And I'm just going to get right to it. I'm going to work backwards. I'm going to give you your flowers.
Yep.
Tim was right.
Yep.
You were right. You're right on one of them. You're the first one, the only one that's happened so far. Josh Naylor is now a member of the Seattle Mariners. He went from Arizona to Seattle. He did not indeed end up in Boston like I somehow predicted. My process was there. The results did not work out for me.
Yeah, so technically you're correct because your process was right. So
that's right. That's so right. Take us through Josh Naylor to Seattle. Seattle's trying for it again, aren't they? They always make trades.
They're a very, very active team. And like, okay, so the Mariners were definitely in a position to make a move. They're sitting there. I mean, like the Astros look like they have a firm grasp of the division. It's only 5 games, but Seattle's 55-48 right now. That has them holding on to the second wild card spot. So they're absolutely in the mix. They're only a half game behind the Yankees, by the way, for the top wild card spot. So there's no reason why the Mariners should be standing pat. Right. And like you look at their lineup, like Cal Raleigh aside, who's been amazing, clearly, like Julio Rodriguez has been kind of this year. I think Luke Raley might have been their first baseman. They haven't really had a ton of support around their couple guys up top. So Josh Naylor's going to come in there. He's going to be a huge lefty bat for him. And now, like the first 6 guys in their lineup: J.P. Crawford, Julio Rodriguez, Cal Raleigh, Randy Arozarena, Josh Naylor, Jorge Polanco. And suddenly that's a pretty decent group. on top of, their starting pitching that's always been pretty solid. So yeah, the Mariners definitely, this is a good move for them. I know that they're still interested in Eugenio Suarez. I don't know. And that's who I had Seattle also getting. I don't know if they're still going to do that because right now their third baseman is Ben Williamson. Beats me. So there's need, and obviously Suarez has played there before. There's some familiarity. So, but like the Josh Naylor move, I think is pretty decent. Arizona took a swing at him. It didn't work. And now Seattle could take a run at him and provide a really nice bat for him in the middle of the lineup.
Yeah, and just going through, so yeah, you kind of talked about the Naylor trade there, and good job getting it right. I was looking at the standings, and I think a team that we maybe have overlooked, and maybe you didn't, but the Texas Rangers are only a game and a half out of a wild card spot. We haven't talked about them grabbing players, and I don't think neither of us sent anybody to the Texas Rangers, but that's a team that's probably going to buy, right?
Well, now, I mean, the Rangers up until, 10 days ago were under 500. They were kind of flirting with fourth place in the AL West. Like, that was not a team that was in the serious contention.
Right.
But suddenly, they've won 8 of their last 10. They are, like you mentioned, just a game and a half behind Boston for the final wild card spot. And like Texas was a team that I was super high on. I had them actually winning the AL in the preseason. I don't know if they're going to be a playoff team, but like it's still, if you look on paper, it's still a pretty decent group. Eovaldi's been great. Jacob deGrom's been great. It's like they have good players. So yeah, I think that's definitely someone that we overlooked because at the time that we were doing this last week, I'm not even sure they thought that they were a playoff team. So. Right.
Yeah, so let's see. The deadline would be a week from yesterday, so we're down to 6 days. It's so funny how these last 6 days could make a big difference in what teams decide to do. And, I talk about my Cardinals quite a bit, but, like, even winning last night against San Diego and moving to 2.5 games, it's like, oh, no, are they thinking about buying now? And we all know they should sell because this is not a playoff roster type team. But, like, I just keep putting out the scenario, like, what if – because you mentioned it yesterday, the Toronto Blue Jays have the best record in the American League, so like anything can happen. But like, what if the Cardinals do sweep the Padres four in a row this weekend, which is possible? Padres have shown that they can get in struggles. They've lost 3 in a row. Now, do I think it's going to happen? Probably not. But like, Padres get swept by the Cardinals, and we've got Cardinals, Padres, Giants all tied for that last spot or within a half game. Like, what do you do? What do you do there? It's going to be very intriguing over these next 6 days.
What fascinates me is that the Padres are 3.5 games up on the Cardinals at this point.
Yeah, 2.5 now. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, 2.5 now, right? So, in theory, the Padres should be the team that is the more aggressive buyer, but yet. If the Padres do anything at the deadline, it's likely to be a seller.
Yeah.
Because they have certain guys and they're interested in shedding some of their major league payroll. And like we're talking as if the Padres, who are a playoff team right now, are more likely to sell than a team like the Cardinals or a team like the Reds, like the guys that are under them. And that's what's been so odd to me about the introduction of this final wild card spot, where you think without this final wild card spot, the Cardinals would be 6 games out of the playoffs right now. At this point, Rodney, if you're 6 games out, you're probably thinking, like, you're analyzing this season. You're saying, okay, it's very obvious. It's going to be an uphill battle for us to make the playoffs. It makes the decision to sell much easier. But now that's only 2.5. Things change.
Yeah.
Things change. And it's like the same thing for the American League, too, where if it was just the Yankees and the Mariners right now, okay, like, it is what it is. But the Kansas City Royals are a team now where they're 4.5 back, but it could have been 6 or 7 back without that wild card team. So it's like, what do you do? And it puts all of these teams in these really strange spots. So, but like going back to the Padres, that's it. I think the Cardinals can win this series for sure. And but honestly, though, like this might sound stupid. because I know that you have a realistic worldview of the Cardinals and where they're at as a team right now, and if they're a playoff team or not. You don't think that they're a playoff team. Like you just don't think they're good enough. So like, would winning this series, taking 3 or 4, do you feel like it would do more harm than good in the long run for them?
Yeah, probably. And I got this like internal battle with myself of like I know what needs to happen. Like they need to lose these next 3 and be out of it and clean house. But like it's hard for me to want my team to lose, right? Like, oh yeah, they won. Now they're only a game and a half out. Oh yeah, now they won. They're only a half game out. So it's such a battle, right? And then you're every 5 days you're throwing Miles Mikolas out there with a 5.20 ERA, and even Sonny Gray's given up 13 runs in his last 2 starts. It's like this not going to work, right? But yeah, it's the realisticness fact here is that they do need to sell, but this weekend with San Diego in town, and then it is let's see, they've got the Marlins, and then they go to San Diego right at the deadline next week. So a bunch of big games, and then they end up in LA to play the Dodgers, then the Cubs. So schedule makers don't make it easy here for them. The first move was eliminating Eric Fetty from the rotation. Thank you. And putting Michael McGreevy in there.
Did you see this these rumblings about the Padres and the Cubs, a deal there?
No, I haven't seen that.
So I don't know if it's legitimate and stuff, but there's rumblings because the Padres are apparently shopping Dylan Cease, or at least taking calls on him. And like Dylan Cease would cost a significant package. But there were rumblings of the Cubs potentially parting with Seiya Suzuki in a deal for Dylan Cease. Basically, like looking into their pulling from their offense. Like the Cubs got offense, right? Yeah. Pulling from that, giving the Padres a good middle of the order guy, because the Padres lineup this year has really struggled. So giving them a bat, and then in return the Cubs get a pitcher that they desperately need, because like as you know, the Cubs have had a great year. That pitching rotation isn't great though. It's not.
No,
it's not. And that's the thing that's holding them back from, I think, being a real contender. So it shows a couple things. Number one, and it probably is the Padres honestly asking more about Suzuki than the Cubs offering Suzuki, but like it shows what the type of package would be to get a guy like Dylan Cease. It's like, oh, you're not just going to get a couple mid-tier prospects for him, right? Like they want a guy. And then like also for the Cubs perspective, it's like, okay, yeah, we're serious, and the Cubs should be serious. Like they should be a team that really goes all in, because otherwise you run the risk of A, being a wild card team, and B, having this whole 1 year thing with Kyle Tucker be a failure. Like if they're a wild card team, they get bounced early, Kyle Tucker leaves as a free agent, this year is going to be nothing. It's been absolutely nothing if that happens.
Yeah, no, I think that would be absolutely. I mean, how many times do you see he's second now, but an RBI leader, or get dealt from a contender? Like I could see if this was Eugenio Suarez, Arizona's not contending, he is leading the National League in RBIs. He's going to get moved. But then you've got Suzuki, who 5 days ago was on the best team in the National League. That would really shake up the trade deadline. Be fun. Mm-hmm. I don't see it happening. I don't see the Cubs pulling the trigger. And one big thing I think the Cubs may, and I get it, you got to make your team better right now, but like Pete Crow Armstrong and Suzuki are really good friends. Like they've developed a really good relationship. Even Kyle Tucker, and like straining that on August 1st when you're already contending. I think you and Suzuki's a fan favorite there too, right? I mean, I don't know. Yes, I know it may take that to get Dylan Cease, but is it worth it? And does Dylan Cease put you over the top? And now you've lost an outfielder? I don't know. There's a lot of ways to go with that one.
Yeah, and I think so. And something I should have mentioned too: trading Suzuki would be also a move if the Cubs, let's say, were to land Eugenio Suarez. So let's look at it now from this perspective. Cubs are able to swing a deal for Suarez. They get a middle of the order guy. They get that National League leader in RBI, and they fill that gap at third base, right? So basically, they would be swapping out Suzuki for Suarez, and then bringing Dylan Cease into the rotation.
Right.
Then I think you're looking at it from a different perspective a little bit. But I'm with you. I don't see it happening. I find it pretty unlikely for all the reasons that you mentioned. But I also think it's fascinating. And that's a move that you make that you feel confident like you have a World Series team together.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, no, it'd be interesting to see what happens there. But that would really shake up the trade deadline.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I'm trying to think of like if there's any other guys that you could see being moved like today or this weekend. It's hard to predict. A lot of times these moves happen like in just a couple days leading right into the trade deadline, not really a week out. But we'll see what happens. I think the Josh Naylor trade, though, seeing that go down, I think it definitely will get the ball rolling, which is always good. Like nothing worse than a deadline where there's only like 3 impact guys that get moved. Right. I want to see some big names.
Chaos. Let's move to this one. We got our fantasy trade done yesterday. 2 days ago, whatever day it was. You got your guy. You got Jazz Chisholm. Good work. Congrats on that. That's a guy you wanted.
Thank you.
And because I am a bottom tier team, I went and tried to get some guys that could help me maybe in the future. I don't know. I tried to help my roster a little bit. Well, it wasn't the worst. It wasn't the worst fantasy trade. I think our owner thought we were going to – I think he thought we were going to be totally lopsided. I was going to give you Eric Fetty and Eric Fetty only for Jazz Chisholm, but it didn't work out that way. Go ahead and tell the listeners our trade that we made on Wednesday.
So, yeah, I mean, we negotiated this on Tuesday night for the people listening. Jazz Chisholm is obviously someone that Free Nation of Tim has been looking at for months now. We like his upside. We like his positional versatility. So, Rodney and I've floated the idea to him a couple times, and then finally, we got together. We sat down. We looked at our teams, and we said, okay, how can we benefit each other? So I was able to land Jazz Chisholm alongside Eric Fetty and Kyle Freeland, both of whom were immediately DFA'd. And in exchange, Rodney received Kobe Mayo, which I think Kobe Mayo is, if he pans out as a prospect, could be a really nice piece for Rodney's team in the future. Ivan Herrera, who's a good catcher. Would he be your starting catcher, or is he your backup right now?
He probably is going to be my starting catcher. The way he hits right now, I need that. I had before this, I was using Langoliers from the Athletics. Who was okay.
He's good,
yeah. Shay's been pretty good over the last week. So I could use Herrera as a utility guy too. But anyways, go ahead.
Yep. Yeah, so Kobe Mayo, Ivan Herrera, and then despite him not really being interested, I think that he had a change of heart overnight, and he wanted to bring in a veteran, a good clubhouse presence. So he did ask for Nolan Arenado in the deal. So honestly, like those are 3, 2.5 maybe with Mayo. He's still kind of on the fence right now, but that's 2.5 major leaguers in exchange for Jazz Chisholm and a couple nobodies. But I think it worked out. Rodney has a few pieces that he can mix and match. I had, I think, too many guys as well, so we were able to condense, get Jazz. He could play second, he could play third, he could play outfield. So, very happy with how it went down. And I'm like you, man. I was shocked that our commissioner didn't throw a temper tantrum about the trade.
Right. Yeah. I thought it was happening. I mean, after the whole attitude adjustment conversation on Tuesday night, I figured I probably ought to at least make this somewhat of a legit trade, even though I do not care about my team this year. Maybe I'll start caring. Maybe I'll make my run here these last 2 months. But Nolan Arenado is kind of a legacy guy for me. So congrats, Nolan. You're now part of my team. You can retire in my uniform. And then, Mayo and Herrera, hopefully in the future, can help me out. But anyways, I'm winning this week, and I'm actually dominating my opponent offensively. So watch out for Joe's hose. Hey, I want to play a game because we're going to be a little short today. We both have things going on here around the 9 o'clock hour, so we'll probably jump off 10 or 15 minutes early. I want to play a little game called Predict the Final Numbers. Predict the final numbers. I'm going to give you
yes.
So basically, this is going to be, because I am a traditionalist. It's going to be batting average, home runs, RBIs. Strictly, that's it for the final numbers.
All right.
You there? Yeah, you're there. All right. First one's going to be.
I can hear you now. Yep.
All right. Batting average, home runs, RBIs for a guy you are very familiar with. His name is Aaron Judge. Now, before you start there, Aaron Judge is hitting 345. He's got 37 home runs, and he's got 84 RBIs. Predict Aaron Judge's final numbers at the end of the year. Begin.
Okay. Hard to see the average go up much more than 345, but I don't think it'll take a precipitous fall. I'm going to say he'll end the year at 333.
Okay.
333 exactly. At 30, he's at 37 home runs right now. I don't think he'll get 60 or 59. He's got a couple months left here. I will say that Aaron Judge ends at 51 home runs.
Okay.
And then RBI, he will drive in 129 RBI.
Okay. Aaron Judge, 333, 51, and 129. All right. This is a very simple game. It's something we can look at on October 1st and see how you did. We've got a few of these going on here. I've got all these papers for all the stuff we've got going on.
I love that you take notes because I feel like we make so many predictions and then I just sort of just like move on from it. But you are there taking diligent notes to revisit it. It's very appreciated.
Yeah, I mean, we got to hold ourselves accountable here, right?
Of course.
The other one in the American League is a guy that has burst onto the scene this year. It's Cal Raleigh. Now he is batting 256. He's got 39 home runs and he's got 84 runs batted in. So Cal Raleigh's final numbers at the end of the season.
I'm going to say that Cal Raleigh, what's his average at?
He is at 256.
All right, so 256. I'm going to say that Cal Raleigh is going to increase his average, but he is going to hit more for contact and for less power. We're going to have Cal Raleigh finishing the year at a 262 batting average.
Okay.
He's going to finish at exactly 50 home runs.
Okay. And
he is going to pass Salvador Perez. He is going to pass Salvador Perez as the leader. And then what's his RBIs at right now?
He's got 84 right now.
84 ribbies. He will be at 113 ribbies.
Okay. So Judge beats him in home runs and RBIs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. We move to the National
batting
League.
Average.
And batting. Yeah, by easily. We move to the National League. So Will Smith is the only guy in the National League batting over 300. That's eligible. Yeah, that's eligible. He's at 323. The next highest is Brendan Donovan at 296.
Oh my God! What happened to the game we love? Oh my God! Seriously?
Stowers, Freeman, and Frelick are all in the 290s. But yeah, seriously, Will Smith 323 right now. So Will Smith likely is going to win the NL batting title. There's a great chance of that. He's hitting 323. He's got 14 home runs. He's got 48 RBIs. Okay, so start there. 323 batting average. Where's Will going to end up?
All right, he's going to end with a 320 batting average. So he'll stay kind of right around where he's at. 320 batting average.
14 home runs right now.
Yeah, and he's going to finish with 24 home runs.
Okay. and he's got 48 runs batted in.
He's gonna have. I'm gonna give him a little boost there. I'm gonna say he's at 85.
Ooh, he's a
85
big
ribbies.
boy. He has a big final 2 months here. All right,
Yeah.
all right.
Well, so Rodney. So here's the thing with the Dodgers. So every August they go on that run where like in a 30-game stretch they lose like 4 games.
Yeah.
So you have to keep that in mind with the numbers. So.
Okay, so next is going to be your guy Shohei Ohtani, who is obviously leading the National League in home runs. He is hitting 273 right now with 37 home runs and 70 RBIs. So Shohei, 273, 37, and 70.
Yeah. Shohei's also going to get a boost, I think. So I'm going to say that Shohei, because it's the because this August surge for the Dodgers is inevitable, I'm going to say Shohei finishes the year at 285.
Okay.
He's going to end up. Yeah, I'm going to say he ends up at okay, I feel like he hits home runs every night. I'm going to say he ends at 52 homers.
Just ahead of Judge.
Just ahead of Judge, yeah. Who I had, 51?
Yeah, and RBIs, he's got 70 right now.
Yeah. Well, so Shohei leads off, so it's fewer RBI opportunities, but so you factor in the home runs that he's going to hit. I'm gonna put him at I'm gonna put him at 100 even.
285, 52, and 100 for Shohei.
Yeah, 100 even.
All right, last one is from the National League. It is Mr. Pete Crow Armstrong. Go ahead. I'll put this back up there. Let's see. Pete Crow Armstrong.
You put it out. You put it out. I don't want to keep pressing buttons.
PCA.
Keep pressing buttons.
I'm not pressing them anymore. I wasn't pressing. PCA is hitting 270. He's got 27 home runs and he's got 74 RBIs. PCA's batting average at the end of the year will be.
So I need to look, because I know like earlier in the year some of his advanced stats were showing. Not to get too sort of nerdy about it on the Stupidest Sports Show, but like there were some regression opportunities there, especially in the power department. I'm going to say that PCA ends the year at 265. Okay. So 265 average. I think that he's only going to end up with a few more homers. I'm going to say he ends the year at 34 home runs. Okay. And then RBIs, he's at 74, you said?
74, yep.
I'm going to say he ends at 98 RBI.
Okay. PCA, 265, 34, 98. All right. That is the predict the final numbers game. We'll come back to that on October 1st, see how you did. And just goes along with all of our papers over there for our show. Good work. Good work.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because we are moving along quickly today. We are 6 days away from the Hall of Fame game. And I really want to give a shout out to Justin Fields, who many thought his career could be over yesterday as he was carted off. And then he was back in practice today. So congrats to Justin Fields, and the Jets Super Bowl hopes are still alive. But how about that? Carted off yesterday, back at practice today.
So can I make a declaration here that anyone who gets carted off the field, who requires the cart, should automatically like not be allowed to play for at least like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like that it should be like carting off should be reserved for actual serious injuries. And if it turns out you just hurt your toe and you're at practice the next day, then I will say you have to sit out a minimum of 2 weeks and live with your shame. That's ridiculous. That's so ridiculous. Like it went from leg injury, serious limp, leaving practice on a cart, to Mike Greenberg having a meltdown on the air, to it's a sprained toe, to okay, he's a full go in practice. Like what?
It is wild. It is wild. That is the range of outcomes that yesterday hit into today. I literally was like, he's at practice today, full practice. Like what? Yeah. No, you're right. Like when we normal people have a serious injury and have to go to via ambulance or whatever, like we have to pay a pretty good amount to get that done.
Yeah,
they should have. Yes, their payment should be. Because we had to take the effort to get this cart out there, get people to cart you on there. Yeah, you if you want this cart, if your team decides that this cart's coming out there, you're out 15 days. Mm-hmm. Nothing for 15 days.
Yeah. Where it's IL, where you even if you're fine, that card had to come out and you just have to sit there and deal with it because the card should only be reserved for serious injuries.
Yeah, crawl your ass off that field or something. You cannot. If you guys choose to use that cart, we do not see you for 15 days. You cannot participate. So if you're going to do it in the NFC Championship, all right, you're out. It's not a bad way of preventing some of these. Oh, I'm so hurt. Like that Justin Fields yesterday. That was something else. Like. And you're right. Like Mike Greenberg did have a meltdown because like that's what the Jets' hopes are. I mean, they need a really strong Justin Fields this year. But that was the story yesterday.
But then else? Like, yeah, I was gonna say, and then you make everyone that was like assuming that the worst look like such fools because he's at practice the next day. So then you have a whole bunch of people that have to walk back all of the stuff they were just saying. It's like no one benefits from it. So it's a strange take, but I'm glad that you support me and you understand where I'm coming from here.
What else jumped out at you at the NFL so far the first couple of days? Anything else that we want to discuss?
Yeah. So I don't know if you saw this. It happened kind of later in the day on Thursday. So the Raiders released Christian Wilkins. Citing there was and this is interesting. So Christian Wilkins in 2024, the offseason 2024, signed a 4-year, $110 million deal that obviously makes him one of the highest paid defensive players in the NFL. And goes to his first year. And I guess there was some I think it was his foot injury. And the Raiders, I guess, have had a problem with how Christian Wilkins has rehabilitated his foot. I want to say Wilkins is he's supposed to be good to go and play this year, but I guess there is some issue between the rehab process and the Raiders. And long story short, the Raiders yesterday cut Christian Wilkins a year into this huge deal. They void the $35 million in guaranteed that contract had, citing all these different clauses. Christian Wilkins is obviously it seems like it's going to get pretty messy here because he's going to file a grievance as well, because that's a lot of guaranteed money that suddenly I mean, like, what if someone told you like, oh hey, the $35 million that you were guaranteed for your family and for your family's family, it's gone now. We got rid of it. This could get messy between the two of them. And from a football side, Christian Wilkins is one of those guys who's still in the prime of his career, could still be a really good player, and now suddenly is available. Any team can sign him, and he would be a starter along the defensive line for the 31 remaining teams in the NFL right now, to come in there. So, like, that's a very fascinating story to me.
Yeah, and it's so Raiders, right? Like, this would happen to the Raiders. Like, this was like if you had a power ranking, a prediction of this type of story, who would happen to? Raiders would be near or at the top of that. The dysfunction of the Raiders. Now, I did see Pete Carroll is very, very excited about his roster. He thinks the Raiders are going to be very good this year. Now, what coach isn't going to say that? But Carroll is very excited for the roster. The Raiders still not going to be very good, are they? Like, they're the worst in the division, right?
It's a very good division. Probably.
Yeah. Right.
Probably. So this is gonna sound insane, but like I could see, just depending on, because like the Chargers are good, and obviously Jim Harbaugh is a great coach. And they got Justin Herbert, and they were a playoff team last year. Broncos were a playoff team last year, like Sean Payton. But like, I could see a couple games separating second place and fourth place in that division, to the point where you put any of those three teams behind the Chiefs in any order, and I wouldn't be horribly shocked. I think the only things there that would shock me is if like the Chargers finish 4 wins, something like that. Assuming like Justin Herbert doesn't suffer some type of injury. But like those things would surprise me. But like all three of those teams have made some pretty significant improvements this offseason. And like Pete Carroll is a huge upgrade at head coach. Geno Smith over, who was their starting quarterback last year? Aiden O'Connell,
yeah.
So to go from Aiden O'Connell to Geno Smith is huge. To go from whoever the hell at running back to Ashton Genty is huge. To go to Antonio Pierce to Pete Carroll. So like those are massive upgrades in some pretty important spots for the Raiders. So while they could still be fourth place, I don't think they're going to be dog shit. Like they should be 7-8 wins still.
Yeah. No, it'll be interesting to see that one. I think that division is probably best from top to bottom of all 8 divisions, right? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we've already talked about when Pete Carroll came over, like that coaching, those coaches, you've got Andy Reid, you've got Harbaugh, you've got Sean Payton, and now you've got Pete Carroll. So yeah, all 4 of those teams should be competitive. And that's where it's like the Chiefs are kind of on like complete bomb watch, because like if a couple things go wrong, they could be a team, and I'm not saying they're going to be, but they could easily be a team where they go from back-to-back Super Bowls, a trip to the Super Bowl, to a complete fall this year.
Right. And I've thought about that with the Chiefs too, because it's well documented that the team that like the Super Bowl runner-up often struggles the following year.
Yeah.
The Chiefs, what was the Chiefs record in like 1-score games? Like something ridiculous. And obviously there's the whole thing with all of the calls that they were getting throughout the year that benefited them. So in theory, the Chiefs are and the strength of the division around them, the Chiefs are the prototypical team that should take a step back this year. They should. However, most Super Bowl runner-ups don't have a guy like Patrick Mahomes, don't have a Hall of Fame coach like Andy Reid, and don't have the overall voodoo black magic that the Chiefs seem to have on their side at all times. But yeah, I think that you brought up a really interesting point. Like the Chiefs to me feel like a classic. They should be fighting for their life to stay atop the division this year. I don't think they should just breeze by and be a 1 or a 2 seed, because they just so many things bounced their way last year until they didn't.
Right. Yeah, that'll be an interesting division and team to watch. I'm with you though. It's hard to like pull the trigger on Kansas City doing anything but winning the division. It's all we've seen. But like you get a little hesitant, and I know you haven't put together your official win-loss of every game, but like there's going to be some games on that Chiefs schedule. It's going to be like a lot more than usual for them. So certainly an interesting team to watch. But 6 days till the Hall of Fame game. Your excitement level has continued to be through the roof, correct? Are you going to sit down and watch the entire thing?
I will watch a good portion of it. Oh, can I throw real quick one more NFL thing that's been on my mind as well?
Yeah, let's do it.
And it kind of ties in with the Lions a little bit. So I know that we like to talk about the Bears, often making fun of the Bears. And the last couple days, there have been these reports, Ben Johnson's running a tough practice. The first practice, he got so angry because of failure to, get the playoff and all the stuff that he actually kicked the full first team offense off the field and brought in the second team. And like the Bears last year were absolutely terrible getting to the line of scrimmage, getting a playoff. Like they were so disorganized. It was a disaster. So I'm not surprised that it's a disaster now.
Right.
And, like it's early. They've had 2 days of camp. But can I just be honest? Why are we totally assuming that Ben Johnson is going to be a guaranteed success in Chicago with Caleb Williams in that roster? And why are we assuming that Caleb Williams is going to seamlessly fit in the Ben Johnson offense that worked with Jared Goff? But spoiler alert, Jared Goff and Caleb Williams are two totally opposite types of quarterbacks.
Correct.
But it's like, it's this weird assumption that Ben Johnson is going to come in and he is a guaranteed home run, going to fix everything. And like we said this after the hire, he's not a perfect fit with Caleb Williams the way that he was in Detroit with Jared Goff. Like the type of offense that Detroit ran is not at all what Caleb Williams has played his entire life. Like Caleb Williams is not that quarterback. He's not.
Right. So
like it's there's going to be some growing pains here. There are, and I wonder like how soon before you get the Chicago sports radio listeners and they're like, hey, are we sure that this Caleb Williams thing is working out here? Like, I don't know. That's my thought here.
Yeah, no, they're another one that's very interesting. I mean, we are obviously very intrigued by the Bears anyway, but they're going to be a very intriguing team. And that's a team, we just talked about the AFC West, like the NFC North, like there's no room to mess up there, right? Yeah. Like Detroit's obviously at the top. Minnesota's been really good over the last several years. Green Bay is a playoff team. So Bears got work to do. I think you're right. Like, how do we really know Ben Johnson is a complete leader? He's obviously a very good offensive mind, but like it's a whole new ball game now that he's the head coach.
Yeah, and one other thing real quick on Ben Johnson. I was talking about this with my friend yesterday. So like Ben Johnson, do we attribute Jared Goff's success to Ben Johnson? Because keep in mind, Jared Goff, before he got to Detroit, had Sean McVay and went to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So Jared Goff's passing yards and stuff, but like I think Goff had at least 2 seasons in LA where he had 4,400 yards or more, went to a Super Bowl, had a couple Pro Bowls in LA. Like, was not this total reclamation project. It was not a Geno Smith situation, is what I'm saying. Where he's a backup or Sam Darnold, right? This isn't Sam Darnold. Like Jared Goff was a Super Bowl quarterback and then got to Detroit and then got a little better. So it's not like we could say, oh, Ben Johnson totally saved Jared Goff and it made him who he is. He made him a little better, but like I think we are looking at him through that lens collectively as a society where we shouldn't be.
Yeah. No, it'll be interesting to see how he performs with that. And you're right. Like I obviously give Jared Goff or Ben Johnson some benefit for Jared Goff, but like you're right. Sean McVay was the guy ahead of him. Pretty good coach.
Yeah. Like Jared Goff came to Detroit with a good understanding of how to play quarterback, thanks to his multiple years under an actual offensive guru and a guy who should be a Hall of Fame coach in Sean McVay. Like, so yeah, it's not like he had to learn how to play football. So like Caleb Williams is going to be, the guy in his second year, had a really tough rookie year. This is going to be a tough task for Ben Johnson, and people are just assuming that he's going to just fix him instantly, and that you're going to get a Detroit style offense in Chicago. I would say pump the brakes. That's all. Yeah. I'm not a hater. I'm not a hater. As you know, I'm not a hater. I love all my Chicago Bears fans. I'm just saying pump the brakes a little bit. So
yeah. All right, let's get to our Mount Rushmore of 83s. We do got to be getting off here over the next couple minutes. 83s, I think we start right with the NFL. The first one that came to mind to me was the former New England Patriots receiver Wes Welker.
Yeah.
Wes Welker, I think, can be part of this list. I actually thought 83 might be better in the NFL. It's not great. You look, Andre Reed, I think, is another one that probably needs to get on this list. So those two, I think, could probably be your best two. Where's your thoughts start with 83s?
Yeah, I think Welker's definitely there. Andre Reed definitely there. Some of the other guys like Vincent Jackson, rest in peace. 11 seasons wearing the number 83. He was quite a good receiver. Lots of years with those Chargers teams with Phillip Rivers as their top guy. So he's someone that I would definitely consider. From the tight end perspective, I don't know if he's quite good enough to reach the Rushmore, but like Heath Miller was a pretty decent tight end for a lot of years, 10 years in the NFL. And then you have, Lee Evans, Tyler Boyd, Deion Branch, Terry Glenn, lots of decent players. Darren Waller. So like lots of decent players, good careers, but it's tough to make it on the Mount Rushmore. So, but I would definitely say Andre Wes Welker for sure. And then we can debate those last couple spots.
Yeah, I mean, I look at other sports and there's just not much there. I mean, 1 year Justin Turner wore 83, but that was 1 year. We've decided we can't do that. Eric Gagne wore it 1 year as well. Kind of the biggest longevity guy was like 4 years. So I think we can eliminate Major League Baseball from this conversation. National Hockey League. Well, first the NBA. Craig Smith is the only player to ever wear 83, and so like eliminating him, can't do NBA. Yeah. And honestly, NHL was pretty weak. I look here, it's like Matt Nito from the Sharks and later with the Penguins. Like, I never heard of him. I don't know, man. I think this is going to
it would be like Jay Beagle and Alice Hemsky were the two other NHL guys, but like that's pretty weak. Those are just like solid third line depth guys.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's good enough to knock down a guy like Vincent Jackson.
Yeah, so like Andre Reed, Wes Welker, and then we're forgetting this guy by the name of Ted Hendricks because we've never really saw him play linebacker. I mean, shoot, he played 215 games. He's kind of the number one on the Pro Football Reference. I don't know much about him. Was with Baltimore, was with Green Bay, was with Oakland. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's got to be considered. But where do we want to go here? We're sure with Reed. We're sure with Welker. We'll throw Vincent Jackson again. Rest in peace. Where's our fourth?
I'm looking to see if there's any good NASCAR guy that wore the number 83, and I do see Brian Vickers. So NASCAR is someone that or is a sport that we probably are overlooking a little bit.
Oh yeah,
like we don't really pay attention to any soccer stuff like that, but like Brian Vickers. 3 win. I mean, he's okay. He's not great. So yeah, this might be an all NFL one, man. Yeah. Right. So I'll leave it to you. Who's that fourth one that you like?
I think we got to go with this Ted Hendricks guy. To be honest with you, he, right. The Mad Stork, apparently. He played 215 games. Obviously a defensive guy, so we haven't heard of him as much. 26 career interceptions. Certainly had a career here. Because I looked at Mark Clayton as one of them. I mean, he obviously had a great career. Anthony Miller, you mentioned the tight end spot with Heath Miller. I'm just not there on him. So I think it's got to be Andre Reed, Wes Welker, Vincent Jackson, and then you got to go with Ted Hendricks.
All right. Well, yeah, little disappointing considering the strength of the 80s that we've had so far, but I think 84, 85 we'll see some huge improvement. I already got a couple 84s that come to mind. So yeah, we'll definitely be on the up, but congrats to our 83s for solidifying your spot on the Mount Rushmore of best athletes to wear at number 83. All right. Real quick, let's get out of here a little early. Sign up for Rodney's Substack Stupid Sports Show. On Substack, yes. He is sending free picks every single afternoon straight to your inbox. I think weekends you do morning. It's like a morning release just to get ready for the day. So, if you'd be following him since day one of 2025, you would be up multiple units. So go ahead and give that a follow and ride his picks. He's doing great. And then a couple other reminders to follow us at Stupid Sports Show on Twitter. That way you can get notified whenever we go live. And in case you missed any of this episode or our previous 82 episodes, make sure to check us out wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple, iHeart. Throw us a like. Throw us a subscription. I always have trouble with that word, subscription. And yeah, there you go. And leave us a comment. So, all right, that about does it. Rodney, any final thoughts? Any big weekend plans for you?
Not really. I head to Orlando next Friday, so just kind of getting stuff ready and preparing. And school's coming up, so I've got some kids getting ready to start school here in a couple weeks. So just I think this week it'll be pretty chill. It'd be nice to do little bits of nothing.
It's always nice. That is always nice. All right. Well, enjoy chill weekend. We'll talk next Tuesday at 9 p.m. for another edition of the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth. But until then, for Rodney Newpel, this is Tim the Manimal Van Stratton signing off. Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll talk to you later.
See ya.
Step right up, dummies, and listen to the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth with Rodney Newpel and Tim Van Stratton. Yeah.